Do you have any questions you might like to ask?
Has there been any discussion on the city of St. Cloud as how the current crisis is going to affect the city's finances going forward?
Well, probably the one who needs to answer that would be our city manager. Would you like to come down and address that? You know, one of the biggest impacts is the impact that it's having on all of our small businesses, and it's still yet to be seen the significant impact that that's going to have, and ultimately that has an impact on our city. And so we'd like to ask our city manager if he'd like to address that. Mr. Sturgeon.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, sir. About 3 weeks ago, I put together 2 task forces, one financial sustainability for the city. That group has been working. We are going to have some impacts in our different funds, but not our ad valorem taxes. We think that's going to probably come in and normalize, but we are making some revenue cuts that we're going to recommend to the city council to move forward. The second thing we did was put together a business task force and look at economic sustainability. How do we reinvigorate our economy here in St. Cloud? And again, on the 23rd, we'll be making recommendations to the city council to do that.
How exposed is the city of St. Cloud to tourism, which is basically the lifeblood of most of Central Florida? But I was talking to the director of OIA the other day, and he said that they're anticipating people flying in to be cut in half. Mm-hmm. I don't know how exposed, how much does tourism go into St. Cloud's economy?
Well, it does, and there's a lot of things about St. Cloud people don't know. We actually have a beautiful lakefront that people come from all over the world to look at some of our birds and some of our other inhabitants here. Our city bird, the sandhill crane, is something that people come to look at. So it does affect. If you look where we're at in the county, you know, like I said, to the west is Disney, to the east is the Kennedy Space Center, and right to the north of us is the airport. We are going to be impacted by that. But we also believe that the economy will come back too.
So have you seen great cooperation from the residents around the community as far as curfew and face mask covering and participating?
Actually, I'm going to defer that to the police department. I think people are doing a good job, but I'm going to ask the police chief to come up and address that. Chief Gauntlet.
Thank you, Mr. Sturgeon. To answer your question, I think all in all, the citizens are doing a great job. Looking around at the various shopping areas, I would estimate that probably 7 or 8 out of 10 people in those shopping areas are wearing them. The distancing as well. And to the store's credit, it doesn't matter if it's a Publix or a Winn-Dixie or Home Depot, they put together measures organizing people as they access not only the store but checkout, and it makes a big difference. It makes it run smoothly and it keeps people separated. We haven't had any issues as far as the curfew goes. The officers are working diligently to impact the community in a positive way and trying to put out a positive, encouraging message, because through this anxious times, we want to be service-driven, and we're seeing our calls for service decline, and generally speaking, crime across the board continues to go down. So we're just a little anxious because people are getting a little restless being homebound for so long, and we're trying to continue to encourage them to do that. One of the other things that we're doing on a routine basis is what we call our drive-bys, and that's for children's birthday parties where they can't get out and have family members or friends over. So we're pulling up and demonstrating our support by showing our colors to the children as well. So it's gone a long way.
Thank you. Let's probably go back to city manager. So we're supposed to have some citizens not sure how they take care of certain services that would happen at City Hall. Could you kind of just reiterate how you're wanting citizens to take care of things they have need for?
Again, if they'll refer to our website, we've actually changed some of those services to make them more available to them online and through email. Also, the Citizens Hotline, if they'll call that, we can get them in the right direction. And again, we are doing things a little bit different by appointment only for certain departments, but we're still open for business and encourage citizens to call, and we'll make accommodations to make sure we're still providing those high-level services.
Thank you.
Can you talk about what steps are currently being taken to assist people who've been laid off or people who basically or been furloughed or their hours cut back?
Are you talking within the city? So actually the city, I've taken a stance to retain all of our employees. We do have about 170 employees that are what we consider non-essential. But remember, if we put them into the system, then we wouldn't have them available to come back to work. So if we furloughed a bunch of people or laid off people, we'd have to go ahead and recruit, hire, and train a new group of people. So I made the decision to keep them on board, and it sounds like we're most likely moving towards a soft opening on about May 4th.
So basically, so no job losses currently in the city. What about the broader populace within the city?
Well, actually, like I said, we put together the Economic Development Task Force. Redevelopment is what we're calling it, and we're working to some of our small businesses. Those recommendations will be forthcoming to the City Council. We do have some funding that will be available, and there'll be more about that after the 23rd.
Thank you.
Mayor Blackwell.
You know, as to the businesses and economic, it's still going yet to be seen the impact that this crisis is going to have on small businesses. But I know that as a city, our council and our staff, we are committed to doing everything that we can to helping all of our small businesses get back on their feet and thrive. And we just can't wait until that transition can be made. I'd also like to just say one more time, thank all of the residents of St. Cloud. Our residents have been overwhelmingly positive and helpful, and we're so thankful for what they've done. And also, there are so many businesses like the post office and other businesses that have continued on, you know, our stores that provide food and gas and so on. You know, we often take all of those things for granted, but were it not for the fact that they're willing to be on the front line, we would not have all of those services. And so we're incredibly grateful to them. And also, last of all, we want to thank Channel 9 and Positively Isola for coming today and filming this press conference for us. Thank you for all that you do and the difference that you're making. At this time, we are concluded. Thank you very much.